Hey everybody, welcome to Age's Cozy Crochet Corner, and the color for today is blue. Because today we're going to be doing, come on Valerie, work with me. We're going to be doing Cookie Monster blankets, hooded blankets, okay? Now this one right here is for, is a children's size. And I wanted to come beforehand and show you guys the pockets. So I put pockets right here and right here on the arms, and that way they can stick their little fingers in here. And my daughter loves to do this, stick her fingers in here, hands, and have something to hold and help wrap it around her. And this right here, key points, the children love them. So you see we have the eyes and the nose and the mouth, and we have all the cookies. So if you want to make this in a larger size, then all you're going to do is hold out your arms for whoever you're making it for and go from this point to this point, wingspan, tip of finger to tip of finger, and chain. That's it. And once you get that chain amount, that's your foundation chain. We're going to be building from the bottom on up. So that's all we have to do to get the size that we want. And I make it go into top of shoulder, and the hood will take over the rest. So let's get to the table and let's work this thing out, okay? Okay, everybody. So we are now at the table. This piece, as you see, and as you saw from the intro, is rather wide and long. So I'm going to be showing you how to do this on a swatch, but it's very simple. I did the whole piece in half doubles. I did half doubles because we're when putting the cookies on it, I want to have a flat surface to put the cookies on. So and we're only going to be making 3 pieces, and then we'll be attaching the hood to this larger piece. But I'm going to show you how to get to each of the pieces before that. So the large piece we have here, and these are the smaller pieces. Now, the smaller pieces go on either end, one on each end at the top, on the inside of the blanket. And they, you see, they put their hand in here, and that helps them hold the blanket. So I hope you was able to see that good from the intro. So the pockets will be going in the side. Now everything, like I said, is done in C2Cs. I mean C2Cs. Everything is done in half double crochets, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you on a swatch how to do it. I will put on the screen how many you need to chain for the larger piece if you're making the same size as me. I already told you in the intro how to adjust for different sizes, or how I come about making my sizes for this. So, but I'm going to give you the exact numbers that I did for this piece, which I think works good with the littler ones. Now, you will need 2 pockets. They are both the same, and the larger piece. And I will make sure on the screen we put up the numbers as I show you just a mock piece. Now, if you change your numbers because you are making different sizes, this does not have to be made in any particular number or multiplication of. You can just simply chain whatever you want, the size for the sizing you want, from to go from tip of one hand to the tip of the other, your other hand, just opening up your hand's wingspan, and that's perfect. But again, if you're going with what I'm doing, I'm going to put the numbers up for that. So we're going to move this larger piece out the way. We'll bring this back in once we start working up our hood. All right, so we're going to work with a 5mm hook. I'm working with 4 medium worsted weight yarn, size 4. And this color is just blue. Okay, it's just blue, nothing special. Now I'm gonna shoot this out the way. Bring this in. Now for my swatch, I'm just going to chain 11, which will give me 10 all the way across. Um, Now the numbers for the larger piece, you need to chain 108, and for and you're going to be doing 84 rows for that. For the pocket, we're going to chain 21, and we're going to go up to 12 rows, okay? And you need 2 of those. So I'm just going to put my yarn on here, and I'm just going to chain up 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to skip that first chain, and I'm going to go into the second chain and make a half double. And I'm going to go in the next one and make a half double. And I will half double all the way down this row. In case you're not familiar with half doubles, you're going to yarn over, go inside your chain, grab your yarn, pull up. You should have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and take off all 3. So yarn over, go inside your chain, grab your yarn, come up, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and take off all 3. Okay, and this is simply all we're going to do all the way down through the foundation chain. Okay, so once we get to the end, we will always chain 1 and turn our work. We're going to yarn over and right into that first stitch right here at the top. We're going to place our first half double. The chain 1 is going to count for absolutely nothing. That first half double is going to go into that first stitch. And we're going to continue on all the way down the line, just simply placing half doubles. Now, do not skip that last stitch. You want to go in there and get that one. Chain 1 and turn your work. Yarn over. Again, we're going into the first stitch. The chain 1 counts for nothing. It just helps us keep a clean edge. And we're going to keep going, just placing half doubles all the way down to the end of your row. So when you do your row, when you chain 108, if you follow with me, then at the end of that row you should have 107. Okay, because you're going to lose 1 on that turn, remember, because we skipped 1. So you should have 107 half doubles. Now remember, do not miss that last stitch. chain 1, turn your work. And if you have decided to do something else, another number, then just know that you will be missing 1 from what you started, okay? And we just keep going down, making half doubles. And this is how the pockets and the large piece are made. Just simply making half doubles all the way down. Now don't forget your last stitch. Chain 1 always and turn your work. Now of course if you're doing, and remember you go right back into that first stitch and keep making half doubles. Now if you're making larger sizes, then you might want to adjust the pockets because they're meant for your hands to go in. And if you're making for a larger person, obviously that 12 rows is really not going to be enough. So you might have to increase on your length and your width. Okay, so you could always use your hand, chain till you get to the tip or past your hand, and then make sure you go up enough rows to cover your hand flat. I would not make it right at the end. I would go up so I had space to at least go like that, okay? If that is helpful when making other sizes. Okay, we chain 1 and turn, and now we're going right back in. So nothing too spicy. We're just doing half doubles for all of our pieces. In both loops. And we'll continue that for the 108. We're going to continue that for 84 rows, and for the pockets we'll continue that for 12 rows. We chain 1, we turn our work. Now you see how we have that straight edges. Both of our edges are straight, and that is the purpose of the chain 1 at the end of every row. It helps keep our edges nice and straight, and I like that. So again, the numbers are here for the lengths and the height that you're going for everything. So follow along with that, make your bigger pieces, and we have much more ground to cover. We're going to learn how to make our cookies and our eyes, but first we will put on our hood. Okay, so let us get ready for that. So once we have our larger piece here, and we're ready to put on our hood, I am going to take just some yarn that is a different color. If I can get it here. And I'm going to take 2 pieces. All right. Now, I have this folded in half because, again, like I said, it's so big and I want to make sure you see it. I am going to count in 36 stitches here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 30, 2, 4, 6. Okay. Oop. And I am going to go in the 36th stitch, and I'm going to place a marker here. Okay. And now on the other side, from the opposite end, I want to do the same. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 30, 2, 4, 6. So in 36 stitch here, I'm going to take and place my marker. Now, if you are dealing with and you are making your own size and you're going to a bigger size, then you can always decide where you want your hood to come in, because what we've just done is marked off. Our hood will begin at the next stitch here, and it will go to this stitch right here, and we will have 36 stitches on either side of our hood. Okay. Now, if you are making a larger size, you can figure out where you want your hood to be. So now that we have it open up and we can see our points, we're going to do just that. We're going to start our hood. So I'm going to insert my hook, and I am using a 5mm hook, just the same as making this piece to do my hood. So we're going to put that in there right before. And I'm going to add my yarn on right there. Going to chain up 1, and then I'm going to go right back through this space with a single crochet, and then I'm going to chain 1. Okay, that is going to count for my first half double. Now I'm going to continue making half doubles all the way down this line until I get to my next point. Now with my hood sizing, the way I usually size the hoods for these is, I think, double, because I do not want to snug. I like when the hoods are roomy. You've seen from the intro how the hood looks. If you want it to be smaller or if you want it to be larger, of course you would just go start. If you want it to be wider, start at a wider point. And you can also not chain, you can also go up more rows than I intend to go up. All right, coming up on my other mark, and I'm going to stop right here. So now what I want to do is chain 1. We're going to turn this entire piece, and now we're going to work our way back here. Okay, so we're going to work this just as we work the whole entire piece. Half doubles, chaining one at the end, turning our work, and going all the way back and forth and back and forth until we get to our desired length. Okay, now when you come to the last stitch, do not forget to go through the top of that chain 2 that we began with. Okay, that started out, this stood as a half double. Do not forget to go through the top of there. And then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to turn our work. And then we're going to keep going back and forth just like this until we reach our desired length of our hood. Okay, so I have finished the hood. You know, we have started, we did 30 on, skipped 30 stitches on this side and started here. And we skipped 30 stitches on this side and started here. And we did half doubles all the way up. So, I did 23 rows, here. Now that I'm finished, I did not cut my yarn off. Now that I'm finished, we're going to fold this like this, okay? So we're going to fold it. A lot of material to whip around. We're going to fold it, and we're just going to close off the top of the hood, okay? So I chained up 1 at the end, and now we're just going to find the first stitch here and the first one on the opposite side, which is here, and we're just going to make a single crochet. Okay, and that's what we're going to do all the way to the end, not skipping any stitches. We want to go in the front here and also on the back side and just make a single crochet. And we're just going to follow that all the way down until we get to the end. Just making a single crochet, catching in both, making a single crochet and catch both, and that'll close this right on off. Now, as we come to the end here, we just want to secure it so it comes all the way to the tip. You can go in that single stitch right there as well. And then we're just going to cut our yarn. enough for us to weave that in later on. And that is it. Our hood is now done. So we're going to take and we're going to flip this on this side. And there you see, hood is attached at the top. So I'm going to turn my piece all the way around so my hood is facing me. Now when doing the little cookie monster, now you know the mouths on the mouth on this Muppet, it's like the big black area, because we're gonna put our eyes on. We're just gonna put our eyes on here. We'll get to that, but I wanted to just make a single couple rows of black to represent that mouth part. So what we're going to do is I'm gonna take my black. I'm gonna bring in my black. And I guess I have to spin this around just a little bit. So we could see. Okay, so this is the hood and this is where we started the hood. I still have my marker there. And what I want to do is, now I want to make sure it's facing the right side, and right where the marker is, we're going to go to the next one. Okay, I'm just going to add your black on. And now I'm just going to go back in that stitch. No, I'm sorry. Add your black on, and then we're going to go back into the stitch and make a single crochet. And in the next stitch, we're going to make another single crochet. And now I'm going to do half doubles. We're going to go in between where each of the half doubles are, because the half doubles are running this way. So each one of these spaces here, which represents a half double from the side, we're just going to go in each one and make half doubles all the way back around to the opposite end. And I just thought this was cute to represent the little mouth portion. So in between each one of those half doubles, which look like they're turned to the side, you're just going to go in and place your half doubles. Okay, so I am coming around and you see my other marker here on the opposite side. Now on this side, the first two stitches were single crochet, and we want to do the same on this side. So being mindful, we're not going to go where our marker is. This stitch and the second stitch will be single crochets. So I'm going to go in there and put a single crochet there and a single crochet there. Now I just want to chain one, and we're going to turn our work, which is rather large, so and there we go. All right, and now we're going to go back the opposite direction. So we're going to go back And we're going to go in here, and I'm going to do another single crochet, and then half doubles. So you're going back around doing half doubles, and when you get to the opposite side, we're going to put the single crochets back on top of the single crochets that we just did. All right, so I am back around to the opposite side, and in the single crochets we still want to place single crochets. So the last 2 stitches should be a single crochet, and then we are going to cut off our yarn, leaving enough for us to weave that back and forth later on. And we're just going to pull that through and pull it tight. All right, and that is all we're going to do there. And if you want to make the black section a little bit wider, of course you can keep going and doing more rows, but I'm going to leave that there. All right, our next task, now obviously now this is the inside of the blanket, because this is where our hood comes down. So we want to look at our little pockets that we'll be using. Okay, hopefully you've made it. It's blue and blue, so it's like, can you see it? So so they can put their little hands in on either side, and that helps helps them keep hold of their little blanket. Of course, I will weave in all those ends later on. I didn't do that. So we should have 2 of these, and it should be 1 on each side. So 1 on this side, and on the opposite side there should be 1 as well. Now we're just going to place it down, and we can add this on 2 ways. Either you can sew it on, or you can take your needle and crochet it down. So we're only going to sew from here to here, down here, and here, and this will be the section that we leave open. So I'm going to pin this down, and pin this down on this side. And come on the opposite side. And pin this down as well. And even though I said you can tack it down with your crochet hook, you still have to sew this in. So of course we're going to use our yarn needle, and we will be using the blue, the same shade of blue. Now, I'm not putting both strands together. I'm just using one strand. So I'm gonna knot this really well. I'm actually gonna do the one from this side. And I'm just gonna start right here in the corner. I'm gonna go in through the opposite side so my knot is not facing out. And then I'm just going to crochet. Oh, look, my knot did not hold. My knot was not good enough, so I'm going to lock this on like that. So I'm just going to go in and out. And I'm a double backer. I like to double back because I like to make sure things are nice and tight, especially when you're giving it to little kids and, you know, they sometimes can be rough with things. So I'm pulling nice and tight, and I'm also double backing around. And this is pretty much it on this. You're going to just go around, like I said, we're going to go from here to here and come down to the end of the pocket and then come down here and stop, and this portion will be open. So what I want to go over with you, instead of you guys watching me sew on a pocket, are going to be the cookies. We have to make the cookies and the eyes. Yes. So let us put this aside. And again, you're just going to keep going on just like I have. Like I said, I double back and then go forward. And I'm pulling tight, double back again, and then go forward. So you're just going to keep doing that, like I said, all the way around here. And that tends to be on really, really tight. So I'm actually going to pause this. And I'm going to move this aside. And let's bring in our cookies. Now our cookies are kind of, sort of, almost ready. So right now we just have the little cookie disc. And I use like a taupe color, whatever you have. That looks like it could be a chocolate chip cookie. And we have yet to put the chocolate chips on them. But I made 2 different sizes. So I have my larger cookie, big cookies, and I made like 7 large cookies. And then I think I have, 6 littler cookies, okay? So I'm going to show you, we're going to make the larger one. And when we get to the point where you would stop for the smaller one, then I'll show you where to break off. But we're going to keep going until we get the larger one. Both are exactly the same. This one just has 1 extra row on it than this one. Okay, so let's make, and I should also say our eyes will be made with the one that I'm going to show you. We're going to do all white for our eyes. So I will not be demonstrating the eye, because we're going to make the eyes exactly like this piece. So you're going to make as many cookies as you want. I'm going to make this one with you, and then you'll make your white for your eyes, and it'll be done just like the cookie. All right, so in order to make our cookies, we have to change hooks. So I am using a 3.5 hook to make our cookies. All right. So to begin our cookies, we're going to to make our magic ring, we're going to wrap our yarn around our finger. Okay. And I'm going to pull this piece through. So if I was to pull this, I would technically have a knot. So I call these almost knots. And I'm going to take it off my finger like that. Now I'm going to grab my yarn and pull up. Grab my yarn and pull through. Okay. Now I'm going to go in, grab my yarn, and come up and make a single crochet. So I need to place 6 single crochets in this ring. So that's 1, and that's 2, and that's 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. I'm going to close this. And what I'm not using stitch markers, I'm sorry guys, I'm not using stitch markers. What I tend to do is just get another piece of yarn in a different color, because I get frustrated with all that's putting on and taking off and putting on and taking off of a stitch marker. Okay, and I'm going to place that right there. Okay, so I have my 6 single crochet. This is my place marker, and I'm going to go through that first single crochet, and I'm going to place 2 single crochets into that single crochet. So that will be 1 and 2, and into the second one we'll do the same. And into the third one we'll do the same. Place 2 single crochets, and into the next one 2 single crochets, and the next one 2 single crochets. And the last one here 2 single crochets. So we've taken those 6 single crochets and we have now turned them into 12. So I'm going to bring my marker up and place it over. I'm going to go into the first stitch, and I'm going to make a single crochet. Now into the next stitch we're going to make 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. And the next one will go 1 single crochet, and the following stitch we'll do 2 single crochets in that 1 stitch. And we're going to continue that same way until we come back to our point. So the next one is 1 single crochet, and then we have 2, and the next one is 1 single crochet, and then we have 2, and the next one 1 single crochet, and then we have 2, and the next one 1 single crochet, and in our last stitch we have 2. So now we're going to bring our stitch marker up, and now we'll be going in 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then we will increase by putting 2 into the following stitch. So 1 single crochet and 2, And now we will make 2 single crochets in that 3rd stitch, and we'll keep that on until we come back around. So 1 single crochet, another single crochet, and then we'll put 2 into the same space. And again, we'll do 1 single crochet, again 1 single crochet, and then 2 into the same stitch. And we'll do it again, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then 2 into the next stitch. And 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then 2 into the same stitch. And again, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and into the last one we'll put 2 single crochets and 1 stitch. Now we're going to bring our marker up, and this time we'll be putting 3 single crochets in each stitch, and then we'll be making an increase in the next. So we'll go 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochets, and then the next one we'll put 2. And again, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, 3 single crochets, and into the last one we're going to put 2. And the next one, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then in the last one, next one, we'll put 2. And again, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then in the next one we put 2. And 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and in the next one we'll put 2. And this is our last time. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and in the next one we'll put 2. Okay, now this is where I would end off for the little cookies. Okay, the little cookies stop at this point. So if you're making little cookies, you're going to go into the next one, grab our yarn, pull it through, cut the yarn, pull it all the way through. That ends the little cookies. But we're going to go to the big cookie size. We're going to do the big cookie size, and it's also the size that we're doing white for our eyes. So let's bring this up. And we're going to go into the first one, and now we're doing 4. So 4 single crochets in the next 4 stitches, and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 2 in the next stitch. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 2 in the next stitch. And 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 2 in the next stitch. And 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 2 in the next stitch. And the last time, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 2 and the last stitch. Now we're done. So I'm going to go to the next stitch, grab my yarn and pull up. I'm going to cut off my yarn here, and I'm going to pull it all the way through. I can now take my marker out. I'm going to grab my yarn needle right away, and I'm going to weave in the ends in the back. So quite simply, I want to turn it over to the back side. And weave in that ending piece. And I'll cut that off. And then where my magic circle started, I want to pull that tight and close. And I'm going to weave that in the back as well, to make sure that that stays tight. And that's good enough. And now I'm going to cut my yarn. Okay, so now we need to get some black in here. So let me put some black on my yarn needle. I'm gonna make a knot on the end. Now, in order to make the little chocolate chip looking pieces, we're simply just going to go in anywhere and go back in another place. And that's it. We're going to come back out in the same place we went in, and then come back out the same place we went out. And that's it. And we're just randomly. Now, you don't want to pull this too much when you're going to a new spot. You just want to go to a new spot and make another chocolate chip. Okay, we're only making them about one space wide. So from one stitch to the next stitch in any direction that you want to go, and go over it twice. So let's make a chocolate chip here in the middle. So we come here, and let's go back through the absolute center. Let's go in a new direction, and then we come back out exactly where we started, and we go back in exactly where we went in. And look at that, we have Cookie. This is so cute. So yeah, just put as many chocolate chips as you want on your cookies, okay? And I'm gonna do at least one more on this particular cookie. Let's put one over here. Okay, and this is how we make our cookies, and this is how we make our chocolate chips. So we're gonna go in twice, and that's it. We have a cookie, and our cookie has chocolate chips on it. And that is it. So you put as many chocolate chips as you want, but when you're done, I'll go on the back area. Do not go all the way through to the opposite side. You do not want to go always through on the opposite side. You want to make sure you're not poking through, and you're going to pull it in and just slip your needle in that loop to make a small knot. Okay, and then you're just going to cut this, and we're going to move on to another cookie. So you're just going to keep putting these on your cookies. You're going to make as many cookies as you want, and your cookies are going to get the little chocolate chips, however many you want. And that's it. So I'm not going to show myself making the eye because I'm on a white background, and I'm also not going to show myself making the black part that goes on top of the eye. So the eye is going to be made just like the cookie. That's one. And so you need to make two of those in white, and then you need to make two of the black centerpieces that will go on the eye. Okay, and they will be made just like we made the magic circle. Okay, and then we did the second row. We're going to take that to the row where we just did one, then an increase. So after the row where we do one and an increase, then that's going to be our black piece. And I'm not going to show that because it's going to be hard to see me making that black piece on camera. Okay, so I'm going to make those now and come in and show you what they look like, and you'll get exactly what I mean. Okay, so I have now got all my little cookies and I think I've spent the last 20 minutes just playing with these. I'm so tickled with this project. So I have all my little cookies, my big cookies and my little cookies, and I'm getting ready now to put all of these on. But first we're going to put on the eyes. I'm going to show you how to put one of them on, and then you, like me, can just go crazy and put them wherever you want to put them, however many you want to put on. And yeah, so oh, let me bring one back in. So let's go back to when we were talking about the eyes. Woohoo. Remember I told you the eyes are identical to the cookie. So let's see, eyes are identical to the cookie, so we make them in the same exact way. Now the little piece that we're going to put here to make the eye, once you get to your increase where you do one single and then an increase at the end of that round, you end that off, and that makes the little eye. Okay, so I've already, let me take this out, I've already done one and attached it on. So I attached mine on like right there, and I just did that with the black because you won't see the back of this. Okay, so let's start out placing, I'll put this down. This is going to just be with the black. Let me do this one real quick and go around and show you how we're going to sew this on. And I'm just going to go through the edge area and make sure that that's on. I'm just going to lay it down. And we're just going to go all around the edges, okay? And just go all around the circle. So I probably spent, like I said, the last 20 minutes playing with the cookies. And I'm making this for my daughter, and she probably spent the last hour running around with this on. She didn't even want to get in the bathtub because she wanted to keep it on. So I'm gonna sew these eyes on so she can have it back, because this is by far of late one of my favorite projects because it's just so fun. And the miracle of this one, and I showed you that I wasn't going to sew it down on camera. I sewed the pockets on. This is her favorite part, the fact that she can put her little hands in and hold it on. That was just like everything to her. So, and of course the kids have had hooded blankets, like store-bought ones, and I mean they like it and all, of course, but I didn't think this would go over so big with her, and she just loved it. Now my other girls are like, yeah, I want one too, Mom. So as I do different characters, depending on what type of characters I do, I will just bring them to you, because maybe you have someone that you love that might like the characters that I'm doing. So that is it. I just go all the way around, just sewing it on. And once we have it on, we're going to weave this. We're not going through here. We're just going right behind the black. And we're just going to weave this in and out. And one last time. All right. And then I'm going to cut this. Now, with the eyes, we're going to place the, look at that. We're going to place the eyes right here. So I'm going to do this one first. We're going to place this eye, yeah, right here, okay? And all we're going to do, and I'm going to use my white, because the white will show through on this side, but I mean, you're not really looking under the hood like that, are you? So I'm just going to get close it off. Now I'm going to lay this down on the hood where I want it to go. Right there is great. And I'm going to pin it down so it does not move. I'm actually going to turn it to the side so I could work around, hold it better. And I'm literally just going to go around the whole edging. And you see I'm working inside the loops. Or if it's better for you, you can work right on this side of the loops if you don't feel comfortable going through them. Either way. And this is it. We're just going to go all the way around. Keep going around. And we are back around here. So what I want to do now, let's get you back on the table. It's my eye. My eye is on there. My eye is on there. So now that my eye is on, I want to run this through the piece. Now just the eye portion. I'm not coming out in the back. Okay, you see that? Not coming out on the back. I'm just running this through the white area, and we're going to zigzag and weave this in. Okay, I think we're done. I'm just going to lose this somewhere in here, and I'm going to cut my yarn. Okay, and I put this one on. I haven't sewn it down yet, but that is what it's going to look like once it's sewn down. So that's it. You're just going to go around that, secure it, and we're done on that part. Okay, so now we have to stick on, well, not stick on, but sew on our cookies. Now I'm going to show you how to do one, and I thought would really be cute because, like I said, my daughter took this from me and held it hostage for a while. So she puts her hands in the little pockets right here, and I said, wow. Said I have to put a cookie. Let me get 2 cookies. I have to put a cookie. I'm gonna do 2 big cookies. I have to put a cookie right on the arm, so when she has her hands in the pockets and she puts it up to her mouth, it looks like she's eating the cookie. So yeah, so again, super excited about this project. I'm gonna, now what we must be careful when we put this cookie on here, if you do one in your pocket, that you do not sew this down here. That when you put your cookie on, you are just going through that top layer. Okay, I'm gonna pin this one here. And where else should we put cookies? Now, of course, we're not putting the cookies in the inside. We're going to put them what would be the back side. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm just going to randomly put cookies everywhere. Okay. Just going to randomly put cookies places and hold them down. But I want to show you at least putting down 1 cookie. So let's do a cookie kind of like by the edging. It will be really, really simple for me to put it on as big as this thing is. So we're going to get a little cookie and put a little cookie down here. And I'm still going to pin this down. Now, with my cookies, I usually use yarn when I'm sewing down a project. I usually use yarn. That's like I use the white around the white for the eyes. But with this blanket, I do not want to see the brown all the way around on the inside of this. So I was either going to use a thread that was similar to the cookie color, because it would not show up much on this, or I couldn't do that because I could not find that color. Well, color close enough to this. So I'm deciding to go with the blue. Now you can barely see it, I'm sure. This blue is the same color blue as my work. Okay, so I'm going to use this blue and just a regular thread and needle to put down all of my cookies. Now I'm still going to go through on the edges. And I still think this would look better than having all of that brown on the other side. So I'm going to go around this piece, and I am going inside these loops, and because I am using thread, I'm probably going to go around 2 times. We'll see. And like I said, you can barely see it on the brown. Pull it tight. You can't really see it on the brown. And you definitely can't see it from the other side. So I figured, why not go with the blue? And let's see if we see it on the other side, how it looks. Of course you can't see anything from the other side, and that is exactly what I wanted it to look like. Didn't want all that mess. I wanted to keep it as clean on the opposite side as possible. And I don't even feel it necessary to go around this a second time. So I'm going to keep going on, and I am going to add in all my cookies. I'm going to add in the other eye. And that ends all of the elements to this, and it is done. I've already weaved in my ends, so I have no ends to weave in, but be sure to weave in all of your ends. And I mean, I think this was a fairly simple project that is really fun. It was really fun for me. Mm-hmm. Oh, so cute. Alright, so I am back around to where I began and started my cookie. So I will pass through on the opposite side. And I will place, I can't even see where it is. I will place a knot in this. Close that off. And then I'm going to weave the thread in to the blue. In the back. All right, let's take a closer look on how it looks. Let's get the pin out of here. So there's our cookie. Now, I mean, if you feel the need, you can put tack it down in the center here, in the middle. I don't think it really is necessary. I think it's good. But again, I might just do a small tack in the middle when I'm done all of them. We'll see how I feel, because I really don't think it's totally necessary. And that's it. We're going to put these cookies everywhere. I might even make more cookies. I don't know. So I'm going to go to my next one, and I'm going to start that. And then we'll see about getting some photos or footage of my youngest, well, one of my youngest, wearing this, because it's hers. So let's see if she wants to show us all how nice it looks. Yeah, so my daughter had to model it because my Tyler refuses. So we'll get some pictures in there of the size that it should be, how it should look on the little person. But I wanted you all to clearly see it from the wingspan of its all. So yeah, we asked one of them to stand in and show it from the back. And but I will post, we'll put after this the pictures of the little one standing in it. It's super super cute. She just refuses to take photos. Okay, everybody, thank you for coming to the corner.